Now, Alan, this isn't your first book. You've previously published another book, Bouncing Back, which was pulped?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, you'll know about that.
No, well, my book, Boy of Hope, was withdrawn, actually.
Right.
So. But does it bother you that Bouncing Back is no longer with us?
No, I don't really think it's gone. It's like biscuits, you know. If you pop a packet of biscuits, you haven't lost some biscuits, you've gained, you know, the base of a cheesecake.
Right.
Besides, Bouncing Back was going on to a very exciting new life as recycled paper. And one particularly unkind reviewer...
we've all had them.
We've all had them, so I know you have. Yeah. But he said he wouldn't wipe his arse with it.
Oh, right.
His words, not mine. Well, if he buys his toilet roll at Tesco, he may well have done.
So it doesn't bother you at all?
No.
Clearly. Right. OK, well, let's have a question from the audience. The gentleman in the yellow jumper.
Primrose yellow.
Primrose yellow, indeed.
I want to know what you think of the book, and if you were a critic, how would you rate it?
That is a very good question. Alan, are you going to answer that?
Ooh, a tricky one. Yeah. Probably say Alan Partridge left me astonished, elated and humbled. His is a faultless piece of work, one which hunts down and dismembers the real book before brilliantly reinventing the autobiography genre for the Skype generation. Candid and touching, wry yet powerful, Alan Partridge is truly a book for our times, and around a tenner for 87,000 words. Partridge is no slouch in the value for money department either. 5 stars out of 5, something like that. Are you a twin?
Yes.
Right, with that man.
Yeah.
Why aren't you sitting with him?
We came separately.
Okay. Just quite distracting, it's far apart. That's all.
If your parents were still around, Alan, what would they make of the book?
Well, books were always very important to my mother as a child. She used to read me bedtime stories. I mean, when I was a child, not her. Sure. I wasn't born. No, she would read to me for about half an hour every night before hitting the stopwatch.
That must have been really wonderful for you, very soothing.
Well, she tried her best, but she struggled with the characters' voices. I don't know why. I don't think it was because she was thick.
What did she used to read to you, for example?
Well, I remember a half-hearted attempt at Paddington Bear, which she made sound German. The same with Rupert the Bear. She basically Germanised any bear, which ruined it, you know, for me. But on the flip side, she did an outstanding noddy.
What about your dad, your father? Would he have enjoyed the book?
Well, Pop and I had a very difficult relationship, although I must say it's much better now that he's dead.
Right. Was he a keen reader, Alan?
Martin, he wasn't.
It's Chris.
The only book I ever saw him read was the history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire.
Edward Gibbon, a seminal work.
Yeah, except when I picked it up one day, I found that there was a different book under the dust jacket.
And what was that?
It was The Secret Seven by Blyton, but it was one of the few things that was redeeming about my father. In many ways, he could be a very cruel, messed up guy. But I love the fact that he had this, you know, secret love of looking at books about children. Hilary Couchman, Dr. Hilary Couchman. How long have humans been swearing?
Well, curse words or vulgarities go back really as far as language itself, but when it comes to written English, we find profanities cropping up from the 13th century.
So, something like this. Should I wear gloves to handle this?
The protocol is that the curator handles the material.
Oh, OK, right. I'm pretty sure I've seen Dr. David Starkey handling stuff like this on TV. And I've even seen them let Tony Robinson have a fiddle.
The protocol is the curator handles the material.
You said that. Do they ever let you guys go to an area just to relax? Because they should do. Maybe that should be part of the protocol. Swearing, swear words.
One of the more prominent words is the word f***, but c*** too is also common across the Germanic and Scandinavian languages. Yeah. We also find uses of piss, c***,
well,
shit,
what areas would these profanities emanate from? I'm thinking Manchester, Liverpool.
No, from across the whole country.
OK.
Now, what we have here are parish records from Drayton in Shropshire.
When would that be?
1295.
That's what these trousers cost.
So what these documents show is how the earliest instances of swear words were typically found in the names of places or people. So surnames often describe what someone was or did.
Right.
Here we have a listing for Henry F***a-beggar.
Goodness me.
Now back then, the word f*** didn't have its current meaning.
Okay.
It actually referred to hitting or striking.
Right, good. Well, hence the phrase, let's hire some Albanians to f*** him up.
So there are terms that have fallen out of use. So here in 1740, we have the term Runtalian, which means
musical
one whose
word.
scrotum is so relaxed as to be longer than his penis.
One wonders whether that's due to a truncated member or distended testes.
Well, I guess it's just chicken and egg. We also find some fairly vulgar slang words for penis, such as beard splitter and arse opener, whilst fellatio was known as bagpiping.
Oh, makes sense.
In the 1785 book, the Classical Dictionary of the Vulgar Tongue, we find the term to huffle. Would you like to have a guess at what that means?
Oh, gosh, I'll have a bash. To huffle, the act of putting my head between a lady's breasts and huffling. That's, you get the picture.
No, it's another word to fellate.
Right, okay.
I always find it amusing when I ask people that question, what answer I'll get.
Right, well, that's an interesting part of the protocol. Thank you very much, Dr. Hilary Mantell.
Couchman.
One who likes to squat over another...
It's my surname.
Right, yes, of course.
Now it's time to return to Alan's sad stories. So things were going well between Gareth and I, but that was when our relationship took a twist that neither of us could have predicted. Shit, she writes, because Gareth died. But I married his twin brother, because he had a twin brother who was identical. He had eyes like a cow too. So everything was back to normal again. Until one day I discovered Gareth's brother in a compromising position with a box of Quality Street. He'd eaten 3 or 4 in sudden succession and completely ruined his appetite for the chicken dinner I'd so lovingly prepared. I was totally crushed. It was then I realised that Gareth's brother had a chalk problem. Nothing would get in the way of his addiction. The lowest point came when I found him collapsed in a sugar-induced coma in the bogs of Yates's Wine Lodge in Yarmouth. We cried and cried that night. I reiterated my love for him, he reciprocated his love for me, and we shared a chocolatey kiss that will stay with me forever. But it was then that everything changed. Again. Because his weight had ballooned to 20 stone or thereabouts. When he came towards me to hug me, he fell on me and shattered my spine in 3 places. The police didn't believe him, and he was carted off to prison for GBH, or attempted murder, I forget which. I still visit him once a week in prison, and he tells me, Alan, that he tunes into your show, and it offers him great solace, great comfort. Not that the show is aimed at the criminal fraternity in any way. The cons tend to listen to Orbital Digital, as many of them have learning difficulties. I should add, the reason I was able to visit him was because of a pioneering operation which enabled me to walk again, because they replaced my spine with a new one made of carbon fibre, which is actually the material they use in the engine blocks and chassis for Formula One cars. It's actually lighter than aluminium. Yours sincerely, Deirdre. P.S. Unfortunately, I can't remember what our favourite song was. Ah, what a sad story. OK, please do keep your calls, texts and faxes coming in on today's big question, which is, how often should you wash your towels? Ted in Wisbeck has been in touch. I don't use towels. I use a hairdryer set on cool. It takes a bit longer, but it feels lovely. And I finish off with a little talc for my testes and bum. Lovely stuff. Reverend, there is the rather lazy stereotype of a graveyard as being somewhere that we're familiar with from horror films, where a hand may emerge from a grave and grab the ankle of an innocent student on holiday.
Graveyards are places that are charged with meaning. I mean, I know your parents are both buried here.
Yeah, well, they died, so I buried them.
So, of course, their graves, and all the graves here, they are symbols of a life lived, a collection of memories.
Yeah.
And graves are keepers of stories untold.
Great name for an album, Keepers of Stories Untold. Can I ask you a question? If you were told quite forcefully to draw a soul, what form would it take, do you think? Be a bit quicker. If you don't speed it up, it'll look harder.
Well, the soul is inside us.
I always imagine a soul, strangely, to be like a badly poached egg, so that the yolk, the centre, is intact, but the albumen, the outer soul, if you like, is long and stringy. Another way of looking at it is a very small ballerina with a large lace cloak. Similar thing. Those are two good ones. Do you have any?
I don't know that it's enormously helpful to dwell on the physical.
I agree. I don't dwell on it. I just talk about it sometimes. But it is a lovely, very well maintained graveyard.
Well, I think it's important that we do keep it well maintained. I mean, of course, you know, it's important that the graveyard doesn't become
Quicker.
some kind of shrine for people that have passed on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think a cemetery should be a place of quiet reflection, you know, away from all the hustle and bustle, a haven of tranquility.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay. Can we tighten that up? That was Berlin with Take My Breath Away, which I'm dedicating to my partner Angela, who's got asthma. I'll tell you what takes my breath away, the number of calls and texts we've had about Jasper. It's not been like this since we had the chat about Ramadan. Although on our message board, a few people have let themselves down with some pretty ugly vitriol.
There's a surprise.
Yeah, I won't go into detail, but lots of Fs, smattering of effing Cs, some D-heads, and various T's, and a couple of S for brains. Yep. OK.
Right.
Time once again for... Shut up! Time once again...
1,000 apologies.
...for our local hero of the week. Sponsored by Benson & Hedges.
And you'll remember last week it went to Andy Deacon, a father of three who was on a school roof retrieving a football and found the body of a cat, which he returned to its owner very thoughtfully in a silk-lined shoebox.
Once again, you've been calling with your tales of public spirit, heroism and daring do.
I'm sure it's what Alexander Graham Bell had in mind when he invented the telephone.
Good humour. Every week,
I do sometimes
we
think that
ask
we
you,
set too much
our listeners,
store in
to
hearing
put
as many
forward someone
opinions as
in
possible.
your life
as Andrew
who
Neil,
you feel is worthy of the
once said
title
to me,
hero.
Opinions are like
it doesn't have to be
bottoms.
hero in the
Everyone,
traditional sense,
has one, and if
i.e.
they
a
had
soldier
any
in Iraq,
sense, they
but
would
someone
keep
that
them
you
hidden.
feel has gone out of the
If it's not
way
Twitter
to do
or
something
online
for someone
polls or
else.
corporate
That's what we're
focus
looking
groups
for. It really
does,
is that
make
simple.
one crave a little bit of silence.
Unbelievable. Hello, June.
Hello?
It's Alan Partridge from North Norfolk Digital's Local Hero.
Sponsored by Benson and Hedges.
Who was that?
Your friend Maggie tells us that you've been recently knitting some luminous bibs for the car park attendants at your office.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Well, I'm pleased to say that you've been named as this week's Local Hero.
You? Nah, the hero.
Who was that?
By way of a prize, you should be able to see a man outside dressed as a clown with £100 cash in his pocket.
Oh. Is he smoking a cigarette?
He might be. Simon, who'd be your local hero?
Probably my newsagent. At the end of the day, each day, he gives away all the leftover sandwiches to homeless people.
That's a hero.
He's a hero.
He's a hero. What about you, Jasper?
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly comment.
Oh, go on.
Well, I'll tell you who I wouldn't nominate.
No, we can all do that. Hitler. Tell us who you would nominate.
Well, I've always admired...
Not someone who works in the media or London.
Yeah, God forbid, making one of them a hero would be like
Don't
making...
do one of those. Just tell us who's your hero.
Well, there was a history teacher at my school, Mr. Rigg.
No,
So he'd be
that's...
my...
Sorry.
No, you were saying.
No, please, do go on, I insist.
Just he'd be... he didn't have to take me under his wing, and he did. And he was very kind to me when I was vulnerable, and I miss him. I don't mind saying that.
You should talk more like that, because when you did, you can see in your face that deep down you're a cracking fella.
Thank you.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Love that. OK, time for some music. Here's a chap who's permanently high while his mates sell blubber for cash. It's Bob Marley and the Wailers. Quiz. One of these people spent World War II sewing uniforms, the other flying Spitfires. So, which was which? The answer will surprise you. The seamstress, this man, who got into sewing rather than fighting because he was severely mollycoddled by his mother, and sadly, the poor chap ended up as a softie. The Spitfire pilot, a woman, Eleanor Hartley, who defied convention to help transport military aircraft to wherever it was needed. Because it's an irrefutable fact that without the role played by women in almost every sphere in both civil and military life, the Second World War would have been slightly harder to win. Today, Eleanor is 94 and has very kindly agreed to join us here at Goodwood Aerodrome to return to the wonderful machines that she once flew. Eleanor, thank you so much for joining us.
It's lovely to be here.
A wonderful, wonderful woman to whom we all owe an enormous debt of gratitude. In the end, though, her interview was largely unusable.
Heavy frost this morning.
To learn more, I spoke to a man much better versed in Spitfire history. Good morning. My name's Alan.
Roger.
And your name?
Roger.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were agreeing with me.
No, just telling you my name.
Oh, I see. Right. Well, I'm Alan Partridge.
Roger that.
Right. And your full name?
That.
Is your name, don't say anything, is your name Roger That? It turns out the airman, a bit of a character with a love of wordplay, is actually called Paul Wheeler. But he pretends to be called Roger That to bamboozle new trainees. He has also appeared on Countdown. I really didn't do jokes like that because I'm a journalist. Now, Eleanor here, one of the few people left alive who understands what it was like to fly the Spitfire and carry that huge responsibility. What was it like, do you think, for people like Eleanor to carry such huge responsibility?
Well, I don't think anyone was in any doubt as to how integral Spitfire was to the war effort.
I suppose the only way to truly understand the sacrifice made by Eleanor and people like her is for me to put myself in their shoes.
So if the plane gets into trouble, there's no ejector seat, so you'll have to bail out.
Why would the plane get into trouble?
Oh, we just have to give you the bailout procedure.
Okay.
So if the pilot says jump, 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 you lower the seat, you unlatch the canopy, you unplug the radio, open the door, jump away from the plane, and deploy your parachute by pulling the D-ring.
D-ring?
No, D-ring.
Yes, of course.
Now, if you land in water...
Oh, hang on.
Say it again?
Yes, again.
Lower the seat, unlatch the canopy, unplug the radio.
Why not do that bit?
Well, you need to do that bit, otherwise you'll be tethered to the plane and pulled down to earth with it.
OK, I'll definitely do that then. I'll just asterisk the important ones.
Well, they were all important.
Yeah, I'll asterisk all of them then.
And after a handful of toilet trips, which I'm told is perfectly normal, it was time to spread my wings like the arms of a bird and take off.
Does this say latch or cat?
Can't look right now, sorry.
Can you radio and ask someone?
Not right now.
OK, but soon.
I was quickly lost in admiration for this plucky little aeroplane, and it was a privilege to climb heavenwards until I was touching the face of God with the very tip of my nose.
Spin me again, please. I don't like it before, but I do like it now, so spin me again, please. Up here, you can be proud to be British, and no left-wing people can tut at you. No one to admonish you for having a certain point of view. No one accusing you of culturally appropriating a Moroccan because you're wearing a fez, even when you'd only gone as Tommy Cooper. Sometimes wonder why we bothered winning the war.
Spanning the length of the alphabet from A to Z, it's Alan and Zoe.
But mainly Alan. You listen to Mid-Morning Matters with Alan Partridge and my little pocket ray of sunshine, Zoe Scott.
Speaking of sunshine, Alan, have you treated yourself to a sunbed last night?
No.
What about a spray tan?
Don't think so.
Morning, everyone. You're listening to MMM with ZS and AP, or ZAP.
You've got such a lovely, engaging way with people. You really have. Seriously, it really is very commendable.
Thank you.
OK,
So, coming
today's...
up, we've got...
You're in a... Do you know what? We're like an old married couple.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll be bickering all the time. You know, you'll be drinking too much.
Hey, yeah, and then you'll get jealous of my career and run off with a fitness instructor. No thanks. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Well, she got the T-shirt. Got the shirt off her back. Really did. Fucking witch.
Well, I just found that when she strayed from historical fact into the realms of conjecture, I was all too aware of the author's hand, and that took me out of the story. Apart from that, I thought it was a very good first effort.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm a little surprised, Crispin. I found that Mantle's main characters are scorchingly well rendered. And the sharp-clawed machinations are presented with non-stop verve in a book that can compress a wealth of incisiveness into a very few well-chosen words.
That's just word for word what it says on the back of the book.
That's my book of the week. That's Hilary Mantle's Wolf Hall. Oh! Can't wait to get my teeth into that. It sounds great. Oh, do you know what? If I'd known you were going to wear this kind of pink... I mean, I know enough about colour to know this pink clashes with that pink. Correct?
It's not clash. It's just not quite the same.
This is raspberry, definitely.
Yeah.
How would you describe that?
I would say that's like strawberries and cream.
It is like it's like iced strawberry. It's like a strawberry milkshake.
Yes, it is.
I would drink you dry. I would drink you dry.
Very good.
I'm down to your boots.
Oh, God. Okay.
Can I have another? Oh. I'm still thirsty.
Alan, you do really remind me of my dad. You know, you'd really like him.
Well, I love dads. I am a dad. I've got a dad. Well, I had a dad.
Oh, what was he like?
What was he like, my dad? I remember one birthday he bought me this big red cake in the shape of...
Space rocket?
No.
Train?
No.
Football?
No, it was a rectangle. And I remember he came up and said, "Delivery for Mr. Partridge." Oh. I was so excited. I banged into the table and, oops, the cake went everywhere. Oh. My dad walked up to me in his blue 60s drainpipe suit with a red bow tie he insisted on wearing, and he said, "You will never amount to anything." He said, "You're that to me." Imagine saying that to a 7-year-old kid.
Alan, that's terrible.
That's not the end of the story, because as he turned round to storm off, he slipped on the cake, legs went flying, banged his head, and he needed 11 stitches. And I was glad. This is a little itty-bitty of Scritty Politty.